President-elect Donald Trump still hard at work putting his administration together following the appointments of Betsy DeVos to be Secretary of Education and Governor Nikki Haley to UN Ambassador, the focus shifting to Commerce Secretary. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that the President-elect is indeed expected to appoint billionaire investor and frequent Mornings with Maria guest Wilbur Ross to the role as leading the Commerce Department, which our own Charlie Gasparino has been reporting all week. Joining me now to weigh in on the Trump administration buzz, former Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown. Hey, Scott.
Hey, good morning, guys. Listen, enough of the food and shopping talk, all right? It's killing me. It's making me hungry, and it's making me feel like I'm going to be spending a lot of money later with the wife and daughter. So
I can say with certainty, 100% certainty, that is going to be happening. You're a fitness buff yourself, so happy Thanksgiving, by the way. What do you make of the appointments so far, and particularly Wilbur Ross as Secretary of Commerce?
Well, certainly I like, obviously, Nikki Haley. I obviously like the other choices so far. You know, Wilbur, as you know, we've been on the show together. He's certainly one of those people that I thought that Donald Trump has the ability to bring in these amazing people who can kind of look at things a little bit differently and do it a little bit differently. And that's what I'm excited for. And he's obviously going to have to go through Senate confirmation, but I'm not anticipating any real problems.
But, Scott, in terms of Mitt Romney being considered as the Secretary of State, you've had Kellyanne Conway on Twitter and on television, Newt Gingrich on television, Mike Huckabee on television, criticizing the possibility that Mitt Romney could get the job. What do you make of that? The concern seems to stem from that Mitt Romney insulted Trump. He wasn't just against his presidential campaign, but he personally insulted him. And I want you to weigh in right here, right now, on your thoughts on Mitt Romney.
Sure. Listen, I like Mitt Romney a lot, and I think the fact you have two billionaires kind of battling against each other, throw in the personal insults, and then they have the class to get together and actually, you know, find a common ground, I think is a great example that the left should actually look at with regard to what's happening in all these protests. If you can have these type A, AAA guys getting together and saying, you know what, yeah, you said this, I said this, yeah, we get it, but what are your thoughts about actually being a better Secretary of State than John Kerry? What are your thoughts about the Iran deal? What are your thoughts about China and Ukraine and Russia? You know, we could go on forever. So if the only person that matters, Dagan, is Donald Trump. If he wants Mitt Romney, he's going to get Mitt Romney, and his supporters need to trust that he's making a good decision not only for his team but for the betterment of this country.
Well, let's put a period on that.
Period.
Another person in the midst of speculation is New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. There are reports out there that say he could still be in the running for a position in the administration. Energy Secretary, Secretary of Homeland Security. What do you make of this? Because it's been in and out with Chris Christie, with the trouble with the Bridgegate scandal and the convictions there. Some people sidelining the governor. But what do you make about Christie potentially being in, even having a cabinet post?
Well, I'm not sure. Obviously, the only person that knows that is Donald Trump. And you've seen, obviously, what's happened with Chris. And I like Chris personally. The Bridgegate thing, yes, it obviously has played a role in what's happening. I always thought it would make a great attorney general. Homeland Security is a great spot, too, because you want somebody there that, obviously, the president-elect trusts and, obviously, will move forward with his policies. And I think in those two areas, it would be very positive to have someone like that there.
What about you? You've expressed interest in becoming the VA secretary. What about your meetings with Mr. Trump?
Yeah, I had a great meeting. Obviously, I've spoken to him a couple of times about it. He said he's going to let us know after Thanksgiving sometime. But bottom line is people are dying. Long lines that are contributing to people dying. You have very high suicide rates. You have a bureaucracy. While there's some great and wonderful angels and wonderful people working there, you also have some folks that are just getting a check and are part of the real problem, and we need to get them out. So as long as Congress, if it's me, and as long as Congress backs me up and the president gives me the authority to actually go in there and do some very creative and innovative things. You know, it's a daunting task. It has $390 billion budget, has, you know, a tremendous amount of employees and some real problems. I think it is the most important position in the entire cabinet, aside from, obviously, what the president and vice president are doing, because people are dying, Dagan. You got to fix it. And how many times have we seen these crazy stories about what's happening, and nothing ever seems to get done? So I'd like that opportunity, and we'll see what happens. If not, I'm going to help it however I can.
Yeah, a former member of the military told us a story about when he went for, I think it was an MRI maybe, had his wallet stolen in a VA hospital. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Scott, it's Mike Murphy. How you doing?
Hey, Murph, how you doing?
Doing great, thank you. You know, it seems like, as you said, Donald Trump is able to put aside the differences that he's having with people like Mitt Romney. And from an outsider's perspective, it seems like that's giving putting a positive shadow on the whole process, that he's really willing to reach across an aisle or put differences behind him. As you, someone who's kind of closer to it, is that really what you're seeing on the ground?
Yeah, when I was there, I saw him look rested, number one, calm and confident. The place was like a beehive, everybody working for I think, the betterment of what you're about to see. And the thing that I like about Donald Trump and know about Donald Trump is he doesn't want a bunch of yes people up there. He wants somebody who's going to actually disagree with him and challenge him and push him and say, sir, with all due respect, you're wrong because of A, B, C, and D. He doesn't want everybody like you have with Obama's team right now. Oh, Mr. President, you're great, great, great. You just keep going and screwing the country up. So, you know, I think it's good to have people that you battle with around you, because it really makes it different and creative and innovative, and it should be fun in the next 4 to 8 years.
Senator Scott Brown, it was great to see you. And just a piece of advice, whatever the ladies in your life want, buy it for them.
There's nothing new there. I mean, really.
That's why you're still married after all these years. Thanks, Scott.
That's right.
Good to see you.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.